What's up, guys? DCRC back here with another video. Today I'm going to be telling you guys the maintenance that I do on my Reds 721 Scuderia. So right here I have it all taken apart. Absolutely nothing's intact except for the bearings, as you can see. I've taken everything else off: the clutch, head, sleeve, piston and rod, the back plate, and the button, and of course the crankshaft right here. This is basically what I do in between every large event, is just tear it completely apart, check the inside, check the bearings, make sure everything is spot on, perfect. Basically just check inside the sleeve, make sure there's no crazy scarring. Check the piston, as you can see probably on here. There is some scarring in the middle, but as long as it's not up here on the ring, where you can see those two rings, as long as it's not up there, you're good. If you're getting scratches up there, then you're losing compression. But if they're down here and very minor, no big deal at all. And the burning, or that looks like it's burnt, is no big deal. I've heard that's very common with VP fuel, which is what I use. So yeah, that is perfect and mint condition. Basically, just you want to look at everything and just make sure everything's looking good. Make sure there's just no crazy scratches. Make sure the bearings are good, like I already said. The biggest part to doing maintenance on your 721 Scuderia is this engine is very, very, very easy to tune. Like, if you get one, you'll notice it is the easiest engine you will ever have owned to tune. One thing though, that it's so easy to tune and it works so well on basically a basic tune, is that your tune can get out of shape slowly over time. So I ran about 4 gallons through this motor without ever resetting the needles, and over time it started to get out of whack. Like, I accidentally started to keep on screwing in the idle, instead of messing with the bottom, which was a big mistake I learned. Later on, about 4 gallons in, I was having issues with idle drop and then it dying once it finally did drop to idle, and so I went completely back to stock needle settings and it cured it all. So here's the manual right here. You can see the top end, you need to go 3 turns open from fully closed, so you'll just simply close it all the way until it stops and then open it back out 3 turns. The idle is approximately 0.5 of a millimeter open, which I have in my box right here. My dad got this a couple years ago. It is just a 0.5 of a millimeter wire, and then we put some tape so we can find it easier. But basically, you'll want to take your carburetor with the air filter and venturi off. You'll stick this down inside. You'll close the idle up just to where you can't pull this out. You'll just nick it open just like a half an hour, just enough to slide this out, and you're good to go. That's how you'll set your idle. And then your low end needle, right here, it says 3.5 turns open from fully closed. So again, just like the top, you'll fully close it and then open it 3.5 turns. And that is a very, very good way to just make yourself not go super out of whack. And you will have to tune it. That's not going to be perfect. It's not going to run perfect. But basically, you'll just have to just do fine adjustments on top and bottom. Your idle will be very, very close. It'll sound very low, but once you get your bottom right, it'll be very, very good. So I did that after the 4 gallons in. I reset all the needles and I went back on the track. It was super rich, so I had to lean the top out a lot. I had to lean the bottom out a little bit, but the idle was perfect, and it dropped to immediate idle right away, right off of full throttle, and it didn't die. And a good way to test if your idle is too low or you're out of whack on your tune is just simply take your car, drop it on the ground, make the chassis hit the ground, and if it is idling low and then right as it hits the ground it dies, then something's out of whack with your needles. Either your idle is too low, so you can just nick it up just about an hour or two, or if that doesn't work, then you're all out of whack and you need to go back to factory settings and start all over on your just full on bass tune. Just start completely over, and that'll help quite a bit. I just remembered I didn't show you all the bottom of the button, but basically just want to make sure that there's nothing crazy going on. Last tip is just when you're reinstalling everything, just oil the heck out of it. So just take any kind of after-run oil or nitro fuel. If you don't have this, use nitro fuel, and just simply coat everything with it. Just get everything dripping with oil. So all around here, inside, you want to get the bearings. When you slide the crankshaft in, you want to lube this up nicely. You want to lube around here where the rod sits on the crankshaft. You want to get on the outside of the sleeve, on the inside of the sleeve. Just get a little bit right here, and then get some on the back plate as well. And just a little bit right here where the carburetor fits back into the block. And that is pretty much it. Once you get everything back installed, needles back to factory, go out to the track, tune it before you hit the track, get it just kind of a nice bass tune. Simple advice for tuning is you'll want to set your top end first. Basically just want to wind it out and get it to clear out. You can even just put it on the straightaway, just go back and forth on a practice day, get your top end to clear out, and then you'll set the bottom end, which is very, very basic. You'll just want to have the tires stop moving, rip full throttle very, very fast, not easing on, just full throttle. And if it bogs down and then goes up, you need to lean out the bottom. If you pull it real fast and it goes up to like immediate top end, it might be too lean, but for some people they like that. A good way to judge if your bottom end is too lean is once the idle drops, if it raises back up by itself, then the bottom is too lean. If it kind of struggles to go back to bottom end, or drop down to idle, I mean, then you are too rich on bottom. So it's pretty simple. If it doesn't drop immediately to idle from full throttle, it is too rich. If it drops down and comes back up, then you're too lean on bottom. Pretty basic tips right there. I hope this helps y'all with your Reds Racing 721 Scuderia, and have fun on the track. Peace out.